Good morning, beloveds. I received a very, very clear message in my dreaming this morning with a very earnest impression. So I just want to share with you to use how you see fit. Use or don't use, listen, don't listen. This is all up to your own discretion, in your own sovereign free will. But in my waking in the early hours, in my dream state, I remembered a very specific play and had the words Antigone. The word Antigone, in reference to the play Antigone, and the ancient story, just constantly being spoken to me. Antigone, Antigone, Antigone. And then I had dreams about when I went back to my old high school, and was looking back at some good memories, but my favorite places were rubble and ruins, and they were like ancient ruins, like the old buildings that I used to go to school in had kind of transformed into these ancient buildings that then were rubble and dust and ruin. And then someone who meant ill for me gave me a little bunny rabbit, and I wanted to be kind. I knew that the bunny rabbit was a negative energy. It was something that someone had given me that was not a well-meaning gift, so I wanted to let it go kindly. And so I just released it and was like, just let that go. But then it was immediately found by another older bunny rabbit and was reproduced upon. And so I thought, oh gosh, release that. It's just going to reproduce and get, become vermin, which is actually what happened in Australia. They released bunny rabbits, cute little fluffy bunny rabbits in Australia, but then they've become vermin now, that just wreck and destroy through crops, and it's a like a plague sort of thing. And then so I came out of that dream again. The name of this play, Antigone, 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 kept popping up, and what the spirit has been revealing to me as I came into more consciousness and clarity was in the play Antigone, the whole concept is that her brother is killed for crimes and all that sort of stuff, but she is not allowed to bury her brother. And the whole play is about her quest to give her brother a proper burial so he can move on in the next life. And regardless of whether you believe that or not, the message is we need to bury our past and do it correctly. Because if we just let go, the old things, they can just reproduce and come back to us as vermin. So in those places in your life, and this is a very, very clear, very specific message, in those places in your life where things no longer serve you, and you know that they are wounds or issues that you've had to deal with, because right now it's retrograding. Just about every planet is retrograding. It's this big purging. We've got new moons, solar eclipses, everything. So everything is being dredged up. So, beloveds, everything that's coming up and facing you, and all the things that are facing your wounds right now, everything that is triggering you, anything that triggers you, that makes you angry or afraid. Right now, I'm to share this right now. I've had a safety net for the last few months in my finances, and I just had some major expenses with some basic car maintenance, and so my safety net has depleted, and I'm back to a place where I'm just building that back up again, which is just a regular cycle. But I am experiencing fear from my previous childhood, from having experienced poverty in my childhood, and from my family, my generational family trauma. So not just my experience, but my parents' experience, my grandparents' experience, and generations of family trauma. Oh, look at that sunshine. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's lovely. So generations of family trauma of fear and poverty is being dredged up and brought up in my life. Because when you live every day trying to work without a safety net, it's like walking a tightrope. And when you walk a tightrope, when you have a good safety net, it's kind of fun. And trapeze artists, it's kind of fun because if you fall, you're like, ooh, boom, bounce on the safety net and jump back up again, and you're fine. But if you're doing that exact same thing and you don't have a safety net, it's pretty terrifying. And when you live with that fear every day, of the fear of poverty every day, it's super stressful, and it's just so for me, this is what I'm trying to release, okay? Because I know I have had proof after proof after proof after proof that all my needs are met. I have everything I need. It is for I even have everything in place to just build up that safety net again. So right now I am weaving my safety net again, and everything is going to be great. Spirit has got me. I have faith. I have faith. I have faith. I have faith. Everything is in place. I am living in abundance, in a spirit and the soul realm of abundance, and I'm building that back up again. And this is just the natural cycle of life, where you have a natural cycle of abundance and lack, and abundance and lack. It's like the waves of the ocean. You've got high tide, you've got low tide. High tide if you've got low tide. If you're in low tide, it's okay. High tide is coming. That's just the way cycles work. So we don't have to live in fear anymore. But what we need to do is not just release that fear, be like, okay, I'm gonna and do this. I'm fine, and positive energy. No, we need to bury that fear. And sometimes fear is sent to us as cute little bunny rabbits. And we don't want to hurt these little cute fluffy bunny rabbits. But the reality is that cute little fluffy bunny rabbit is rabid vermin, and we need to kill it and bury it properly. I'm not talking about real bunny rabbits. I'm talking about soul realm stuff, okay? Stick with me, loves. You know that, all right? So those old fears that are being dredged up, we need to kill them and ceremonially cleanse ourselves from them and give them a proper burial where we respect and honor the lessons that they've taught us, and then they may move on. It's not just us releasing it out into the world. It's we are honoring our fears and our generational traumas. We need to honor them and respect them. We need to make sure they are good and dead. We need to bury them properly. And we need to cleanse and clear and let that fear pass on. It's not us just releasing the fear. It's we need to bury that fear and allow that fear to transform into something new and pass on. Take the shit in your life and don't just toss it out somewhere, because if you're throwing shit around at people, it just gets shit everywhere. No, we need to give that shit a proper place, set it in the corner, in the compost pile, give it a proper burial with purpose. Give it purpose. Give that shit purpose. And say, you are to sit in the compost pile and decompose there. This is the special place. I've made it. Yeah, I'm making it a ceremonial place. I'm gathering it up, putting it there, putting a cover over it. It is a special, specific, purposed burial. I'll honor it. I respect you. I thank you for your lessons. Now I am going to give you the time to turn yourself into fertilizer. And the next season you come back and you lift up all that shit and crap that you've set aside and you've buried properly and you've given a purpose, and then you can use that as fertilizer now on your next abundant season. Because remember the waves, low tide, high tide, low tide, high tide. Low tide is the time to gather up all the refuse and gather up everything that's being purged and gather up everything that's triggering you and bury it. Give it a proper purpose. Honor the lessons. Thank you. Cover it over. Let it sit. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Don't just release it into the wild. Bury it. Give it a proper, purposeful burial. Give it cleansing. Wash yourself. Cleanse yourself. Wash your hands after dealing with that. Burn some sage. Have a specific prayer time and a specific meditation or a specific devotions time, however you deal with your faith, and deal with it. Let it sit, and then have faith and know that you will come back to it in another season. It will be fertilizer and abundance, 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 abundance. High tide is coming, loves. High tide is coming. I love you. Antigone, give the fears and the trauma and the things that have died in your life that are related to your family ancestry. Give them a proper burial. And let fear move on to its next existence. Because the opposite of fear is love, my beloveds. And love brings abundance. Have a beautiful